with the setups that they have, especially now locking in this Guinevere.
Yep, 16 seconds right into the first game. We have Brazil versus Indonesia. Still a great start here, taking on to their objectives. Meanwhile, Super Ken doesn't need a leash from now on, but now in for the time of Team of Brazil here, securing their purple right away and getting onto their lane. So looking at by the emblems, we're seeing 3 emblems here that's so similar right now as the side of Brazil. So we have Quantum Charge, the President want that sustain early game with the basic hits, with the free hits actually, to actually give you extra HP in case something goes wrong. Also on the side of Team Indonesia Press as well, 3 Quantum Charges as well, nice too.
Playing around with the speed here for the most part. Again, a lot of this is going to be up to if they can land those combinations from utilizing this Guinevere. I think that's crucial, right? We've seen it work wonders. We've seen it also just be a disaster. Obviously, it does take a certain type of setup as well, but it could also be used like counter-playing against the Divine Judgment or the setups coming from Indonesia.
Okay, speaking of composition here of Indonesia, just looking at this Uranus Black, on the other hand, trying to pull off members. Flickered, forced to flicker out of Vin.
Yep, they got the flicker out. Still going to be poking a little bit here, but Super Ken should be fine. Still, once again, all this kind of back and forth is what we're used to seeing before that first turtle of the game comes up here.
Yep, no engagement yet, but they're eyeing on the EXP lane. They're eyeing on Chorizo. The playmaker also for Indonesia, Saken, almost low on HP. That was a close possibility of Upatisi taking that first blood right onto his hands.
Upa wanted it, you know, he even used that sprint there. Not going to be able to get the kill though, forcing Saken back, but Turtle's going to be up too. They'll work for it. Black now hitting that level 4, going to have that Consecrate available to him. Vin does not have the Divine Judgment just yet, so this should be a battle. There's the knockup coming through. Buzz able to find him. Still looking for the kill. They grab it. First blood for Black. Still forcing him back here. Turtle's going to be secured, though, by Super Ken. Now going to be looking for a little bit more. Gets the knockups through here, forcing Syndra back. And a shot comes out from Moreno, but ultimately trades here across the board.
Yeah, good layering of skills there by Indonesia. Well, they forced out 4 ultimates. There was no follow-up. You know, Super Ken.
Super Ken just getting taken out. Chorizo now looking for the 1-2 punch. Gets Super Syndra down. Now going to be the focus here, but has Vin and Moreno there to back him up. So still, you know, across the board, it's pretty much even, OSX.
Yeah, speaking of being even now, looking at how they're managing to go through their early game, now we have steel leg plates present for Uranus and for Black, and by just looking at these 2 marksmen here, we have an advantage. Saken has more of an advantage on building on his first item. With the aid of Novaria, Moreno, and as well as Vin, he has a better way of climbing through that first item scheme as a base. And also gives so much damage potential for the sustain and also a tankier lineup that Team Brazil has.
So back to it, 3.5 minutes in. Both teams looking for picks at this point, right? Now the fact that everybody has what they need. Pushing in under the turret they go. Luna gonna be in trouble here. Now Buzz trying to get out of there. Ken focusing him down. Shots come out. Moreno will get the kill. They find 2 for Indonesia.
Yeah, and also cutting lanes up top. Chorizo as well, same as Black. 2 kills right onto this Guinevere Busizio. Now onto the 4 minutes of the game, he would want that damage, he would want to have that extra magic damage when getting into team fight, especially when you're getting that objective. Now Moreno has the Clock of Destiny to have more advantage of his attributes to be a beneficial way into team fights. Now we're looking as an advantage of the gold lead of Indonesia. Look at that, look at the damage from Chorizo right there up top, but Black as well trying to cover for reinforced push for Team Brazil.
Crucial here once again. Turtle already going to be started up by Super Ken. Probably no contestation here. Would be better for Brazil just to go ahead and farm up. It looks like they're going to go ahead and do that. Giving up that turtle in the hands of Indonesia. Super Ken securing that now. Setting his eyes here on the resources of Brazil. Going to put some pressure out. Moreno there providing some of the vision. Buzz will get a hit here. Has to back off though. Still, this is what we see here, OSX, that Indonesia loves to do. They get the small lead, they start pressing the situation a lot of the times, and this is how they like to play. So we'll have to see if Brazil can respond to it. Bazillo with the Requiem, able to hold on a little bit longer, but all for that purple buff. Might lose it. There's the Divine Judgment. Super Ken will be just fine. And there you go. One again. Upa. Oh, the shot lines up and Moreno takes it. Flicker on the defensive as well. Vin could be in trouble here. Still going to be looking for it. Flickers out himself. Able to stay alive.
Now, looking back on that lead, Indonesia, as you've mentioned, capitalizing on the small lead advantage, utilizing it in a macro scale. A lot of ways that they wanted to have a comeback and looking for an advantage up against Indonesia's way of crossing them in game. If you have a Novaria, this is one way of like sealing the deal. If you're Indonesia, you want to have extra magic damage. You want to build up on that Novaria. You have 202, you have Impure Witch to utilize with the pokes as well. So this is one thing that you want to consider. Right now, Brazil needs to have extra defense for this. Who's going to be the front line? Yes, that's going to be the Kufra, but what could be the actual follow-up for this one?
And not only the follow-up, but the problem here too is, like I said, Astral Recall already showing how much damage is available, right? Now they're going to get crunched in here under the turret. Super Ken pressing the situation. Vin comes in with the Divine Judgment, followed up with the kill for Moreno, plus the turret. Indonesia is relentless.
Right now, Dominance Ice present onto Vin. More ways to deflect those damage as well as the heal and the regen. So more of the team fights that he does, plus the Brave Smite present on his emblem, a lot of better ways to have the pickoff. Right now, Turtle is up for the taking. Indonesia has more advantage of securing this one. No member from Brazil taking a peek out and getting this Turtle.
Clean sweep on the Turtles. They take them all here. And that's the thing, right? In this situation, OSX, the best thing you can do is really just kind of stall out, buy time. If you can manage to get a setup and get a pick off, then great. But if you can't, you might as well put your focus on just farming up, especially for Upa, right? We've seen Airthel really shine later on in the game, but you got to get to that point.
Yeah, and speaking of getting that point, so we have the Quantum Charge present here, but how will the items show in 7 minutes into this game? If you want to have an extra damage, you would want to rely on this, again, the Airthel. But now, Prestigio trying to look on to spam Super Ken, but onto the damage, yeah, they need to have that extra little punch for this one, for the lineup of Indonesia.
Vin already going to use the conceal here. Might be looking for a target. Going to be able to find Bazizio. Will go down under the turret there. Sakin cleaning up the kill. Turret's going to be next here on the target. They get that down as well. Indonesia just furthering the goal lead that they have. They've got the 2 turrets now as well. They got the space advantage, and all this lined up before that first Lord comes up.
Look at that Clock of Destiny. We have Lightning Truncheon. We have the Blade of Despair now present for this Beatrix. A lot of answers to be given for the damage that they need to answer the strong and, again, lineup of Team Brazil. So being present right now, they have the Dominance Ice plus the Oracle, a great way for Uranus to sustain those team fights. But one thing that needs to be considered here is the defense items of a Kufra up against the bitch. How will you make that catch? How will you make that every setup count with this one? Because you need to have a consistent follow-up. Either you have a great set, or you might lose the chance of giving, again, a kill for Upa team.
That's what he needs, man. Upa needs a kill, right? And at this point in the game, as we lead into that first Lord, this could be where it happens. He did just finish that Berserker's Fury, so at least he's got that. But meanwhile, on the bottom side, they're going to get the Violent Requiem off. Zoriza, all going to be in trouble. Will fall here. So Brazil able to pick up a kill, but they're going to trade it for the Lord. Indonesia knows that. They got the information, and they press go on the Lord.
Okay, speaking of pressing go on the objectives, looks like they're eyeing also to take the turret down bottom, trying to get a small objective, a small window to just bounce back. Now revealing the location on where 2 members are present. Saka now has eyes on target.
It's in trouble here. Upa left alone here after his teammates go down, and he will fall as well. And you're seeing it, right? This is a little bit of desperation what they have to do. They have to farm up. Upa needs to get this gold, get these items locked in here. But, you know, with things kind of unfolding like that, and they continue to happen like that, you're not going to see that late game of this game number 1.
Yeah, speaking of late game, that is the complete answer of the lineup right now for Brazil. How will the damage be enough for the defense of Super Ken or Vin has right now? Because being present on the advantage, they have so much vision, they have no way to poke out resources inside of Brazil, and also the wave clear the amount of wave that Indonesia has right now can just be an easy access to the base of Brazil.
Not just a wave clear, but at this point, OSX, it's the itemization advantage that they have too. We've seen this before, right? 6K gold lead. You can't say that Brazil is out of it yet. We've seen that turnaround before. My biggest question still is, are they able to defend against this poke potential lineup that Indonesia has? And I think that's why so many times, we've seen this actually in so many competitive games, this combination between the Bigetrons and the Novaria, and how annoying it is to deal with if you're opposing it, right? Because you can sit in your base as much as possible, but those two heroes alone will poke you down, whittle you down to the point where then next thing you know, it's Vin flickering in, Divine Judgment, someone who they want to, right? And having that advantage in terms of a team fight. So if you're Brazil, how do you deal with that, right? You have to be the one to most likely start one of the fights. And here it is, Vin actually picking off Luna, going for it with Divine Judgment. He's still going to survive though. So surviving he does, but at the cost of his flicker as well. So no amazing set's going to be set up with a flicker combination in the Rage.
Yeah, there's no deaths yet on this deadly combo. We call it Novea combo, the Novaria. Yeah, Novaria and the Bea. So as you said, either they make the first move or lose the chance. Now ultimate's being used by the Kufa as well as the Flicker. The vision right now of Vin and utilizing this Kaja right now is breaking the momentum that Team Brazil can do. By just looking at the items here, we have the Lightning Truncheon present as well as the Enchanted Talisman. Yeah, we have basic items here for the Valentina, but we're looking for the answers of the damage for the Marks. We have Berserker's Fury. We also have a way of getting those crits ahead for this Beatrix, but how will the setup go, right? You have the Haskell's now present. Will that be the answer though? But as we're trying to look upon this game as to they want to unfold this match, they need to have a good amount of soak and also a great setup as we continue to see.
Well, again, the setup here is going to be very difficult for Brazil, and they know it. So they're just going to call it off. They're going to defend once again. Lord going to go in the hands of Indonesia here. Second one of the game. They know, too, Luna, without the flicker, not able to get the setup they're looking for. Oh, this is rough. They have to get out of dodge here. Vin, eyes set on anybody he can get with Divine Judgment. Pulls back, though. Good response from Brazil, but still, they have a lot cut out for them. They got to deal with this push into the base.
Yeah, they felt like coming, but they need to address the push right now with the Lord right down bottom. With the defense that they have right now, I think it could be enough, but they need to be very above the angles on where Vin is coming. Most of the time, he has a great way of pulling out one member out from Brazil. And when that moment happens, with the fleeting time present, he can just completely do it over and over again.
Yeah, quite often, right? Fleeting time locked in, like you mentioned. Now Lord marching in the bottom side. Gonna go ahead and get that charge up here. Brazil on the defense, getting poked down as well. Astral Recall proving to be a menace. Vin getting a flicker in, gets the Divine Judgment, will find the target, Black falls. Lord still up here. Down a member, Brazil, it's looking grim. Indonesia will work on another inhibitor turret as they focus on the mid lane. Still gonna press the situation. Finds two, there he goes. Bazizio trying to help out. Hold on a little bit longer. They lose the turret in the mid lane and now the top. Base exposed. Vin once again finding Divine Judgment on Bazizio. That fleeting time paying dividends. Now the 1-2 punch comes through. It's a double for Sakin, and the crystal's gonna be worked on. Game one for Indonesia.
A great start with their own comfort lineup. Completely taken on Brazil's defenses. On to that game, Indonesia completely getting a chance.